Saturday at the gravesite, but you know, uh, that's how it is. Uh, so you know, like I said, there's been 10 murders so far. Uh, we're just not even clearly into the second month of 2021, and the murders, the murders are slowed down. You know, we're not as bad as St. Louis is, which got 20, what is 21 murders so far. So yeah, that's basically what's going on with the murders. You know, I deal with basically I've been helping out with different mothers who have lost their children over the last years, you know, so I see what different things that they go through. You know, I tell people on Facebook, this is a this is a fraternity of mothers whose children have been murdered in Kansas City. This is a club you do not want to join. This you do not want to have be a membership of this group. When when basically these mothers they go through ins and outs every day of reliving their children's murder. I'm like, from one day they they happy, you know, content or whatever, to the next day they're crying, they're in a form of depression. I'm like, they got PSD. So yeah, you got a bunch of different things with them. Uh, Also, we're going to talk about the homeless shelter. There used to be a Garrison. Now it's at the Border Hall, and you know you have. There was a thing that came out last week that uh, that you're going to get $398,000 from the federal government for PPE to Kansas City uh, for homeless. And I'm like, where is this money going? Where is this money allocated at? I'm like, because you got some groups out here who, you got some people out here that ain't never really wanted to deal with homeless, but they're popping up. I'm like right now at the homeless shelter at Border Hall, you have Restart talk about they want out of Border Hall. You have another group, the Black Panther group, who's supposed to be uh, acting as police officers because they do not want the police in the community center or down at Border Hall. And then you have others down there who just basically sitting there agitating. I'm like, you know, you had what's the name? Come on there. You had Restart get on there on Fox 4 and basically tell everything what is going on. You know, I'm like, you know, that's I'm like, you know, a lot of us have received calls from people, different complaints that came out of either Garrison or this new community center or down at Border Hall. So, but you know, I just hope they get it together down there. And also, you know, we put out this about this Sunday, which is the Super Bowl, Chiefs versus Buccaneers. Uh, we are doing a collaborative event. We're doing a collaborative event this Sunday. We're asking people to either donate or cash app some money. We have a couple items that we would like people to donate. I think we're doing what pizza, chicken wings, pop, chips. This is all going down to Border Hall for the homeless Super Bowl party down there. So either you can either cash app or you can uh, come down there to Border Hall at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Yeah, see, we getting a call.
Okay, caller, go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Hello,
Yes,
I
go
can't
ahead.
hear you.
Go ahead. We hear you.
Can you hear? Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you.
Yes, we hear you. Go ahead.
Hey, outrage, how's it going?
It's going good, Miss E.
So I heard you was talking about any new things going on.
Yep.
What's going on?
Well, we're talking about either the 10 murders so far in Kansas City or the
Oh,
the
yeah.
city funded community the city funded homeless shelter.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I just got off my Zoom meeting, but I do want to tell everybody that a girl is taking the youth application for the youth program. Um, so they can sign up and call. They can email. Excuse me, I'm trying to talk. Speak. They can email girl youth girl. I'll send a link in, and that's what I wanted to say. I can't think because I'm out here and these people are driving like it's the Super Bowl. Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna listen to you. And I'll see y'all
Okay.
next week. All right.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, Miss E.
Yeah, so you heard it from Missy what we got going on. We also have tomorrow we have the food giveaway at Mount Sinai at from 1 to 3 p.m. 36 of Brooklyn. We're giving out food. We've been doing it since we've been blessed to do it since March. Big shout out to Charles Johnson with I Am My Brother's Keeper, Councilman Brandon Ellington, and the others, Pastor Alfred White from Mount Sinai. Uh, so yeah, so basically you can come up tomorrow from 1 to 3. I would get there early because that line goes all the way up to 27th Street, and it goes up there fast. So I would get up there early. I have been there when the I've come at 11 o'clock, and the food giveaway doesn't start to 1. The line is already forming. The line is already at 35th. So I will come early. You don't need no. You don't. We don't need to see no paperwork or nothing. We're not asking you about addresses. Yeah, we're not asking about addresses or anything. Uh, and there's other food giveaways. There's other things. Uh, there's other things that are going on. There's a Super Bowl. There's a Super Bowl party uh, for the homeless that will be at Border Hall this Sunday. It will start about 5 o'clock. We're asking people if you could either go to my Facebook page, which is Thurman Davis, Thurman Davis, or you could either go to one of my groups on Facebook, which is KC Events or the Resource Center. and get that information. We are asking for either donations or the Cash App, so you can. Yeah, but
All right,
that's,
we got a caller. Go ahead, Miss E.
caller, are you there?
Go ahead, caller.
Did you hear me?
Go ahead.
I said the shelters don't open until 6 p.m. How are they opening at 5 p.m.? And will this mean that all the shelters rules will be laxed also?
This would have to do just with this one. I think there will be volunteers at that location that will be there. I know one of them will be Kay Murray. You could contact her and she will let you know if she's going to be, what time she will be there. So if you bringing anything down there, you could get in contact with her.
Okay. Another thing, with the COVID rules being what they are, you cannot bring food that's been cooked elsewhere into there.
Well,
So it
I
seems
know for a
like
fact that they have been doing this at that place.
they
I,
what?
I know for a fact that they have been bringing outside food from different
They're not
other
supposed to. That's why I said,
establishments.
or all the rules being lax for that center because they're not adhering to the rules and regulations of a center.
Yep.
Is it because it's an emergency center that they're allowing them to do all of this, and it's not considered a shelter?
I figured it is considered a shelter. I'm like, yes. I'm like,
Yeah, I would think so because they're using it as a shelter. So that would alter all the rules
especially
of a
you have
convention
the
center.
mayor, the city manager. They have basically deemed this as a shelter.
Yeah.
They can't dim it as a shelter. They don't follow shelter rules.
Yeah, I know.
Well, all this is new to everybody.
I
so-
know because like I've been telling people, people have been asking about background checks and everything else going on down in here. So
Well, I know for one thing that anybody that's been around there should go in quarantine because I don't want to be around anyone that's been around those large of a crowd that's unprotected.
well, I'm like,
It seems like it's a setup to get people infected.
yeah, well, I'm like, people need to. I'm like, the CDC put out the other day, wear 2 masks or whatever, wear gloves and everything else.
Well, maybe they need to try wearing a hazmat suit with a brain.
Yes, I'm like, because the city had Restart basically running this shelter. Restart was bringing their resources down.
They don't have that's because all the shelters has been cut by their capacity. So it seems like to me, the fair thing to do was to fill those shelters that are already staffed up before all this other stuff. But I'm not going to say anything. I just said if it looks like a fish, you probably can swim. That's all I'm going to say. Because the rules are being fit, for certain ones.
Yeah,
And
I'm like,
that's not right.
I'm like, I guess because this is the first time you ever actually done a shelter this type, they just making up rules as they go because things that going on down there seem like okay. I'm just gonna see if this work. If this don't work, we just gonna see. Just gonna see if it's gonna work or whatever.
Well, I think the initiative is great. The need is definitely there. If you have 150 people come in, the need is greatly there. I just think that we're taking the focus off the real issue of getting them really stable housing, and making a mockery out of it. Now says, well, we want to have a Super Bowl party. I mean, these people need to know where they're going to go the next day. It's not about celebrating being homeless.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree with that. This whole Super Bowl thing sounds
to make
crazy
a
to me.
mockery
Can
out of
she hear
that
me?
and say, y'all need to think about the next move instead of saying, let's come down here and everybody deserves a right to live, in a place, have a house over them. But we have to be realistic. A lot of those people cannot go to shelters because they're sexual offenders and they can't get housing. So how do we figure out how to get those people housing? Life ain't about no party. It's about getting serious.
Well, I'm like,
And when you allow that many people to come in there, then
that's
the
what
need is
that's
very
where the city comes in, and
Let's don't
because
talk
they
about
can
the
open up
city.
the
Let's call
resources.
people's names out because the city is an entity. It doesn't make a decision. The people that run it makes those decisions, and that's what we should be focusing on.
Well, you have different agencies in Kansas City that has the resources right now that can go that
But
deal with housing 24/7.
Right now, Thurman, because everybody's being cut. Their capacity is being cut. When their capacity is cut, their funding is cut. So we can't speak on what we don't know. We assume, but we don't know that.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm like, but I don't. This is not also the only event that's happening this Sunday. I know a couple of other shelter type ones that are having events for this Sunday.
Because I just believe if we're going to take these funds, let's turn these funds into something productive. Let's don't take these funds and just have a party out of it and say, hey, they got a right to watch the Super Bowl too. No, it's not about that. They need to know where they're going to go after the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
And rules
they
and
do.
regulations
I'm like,
are there for a reason.
Yeah,
they do.
It's there for a reason. And if they're not adhered to it, no rules are down, then they're just running it. I don't understand it,
yeah. So all the money that these shelters are spending on this Super Bowl party should be going towards something
It's
something
going for
else. Can you hear me?
Who? What did you say?
I said, so all the money that they're spending on this Super Bowl party for the homeless should be spent on something more worthy than that.
I would think so, would you?
Yeah. That's why I'm bringing it up, and I'm saying this to you. I believe so too.
no, but with the funding, the only funding that's coming out is either is volunteers. So
Hold on, everybody can't
it's
talk
not
at
coming
once.
from the city.
Y'all can't hear me.
It's
Everybody-
not coming from anybody. It's coming from the volunteers.
Oh, so the money for the party is coming from volunteers. Oh,
Well, whose cash app is the money going to?
You said what?
she said so.
Whose
When
cash app is the money going to?
So when the donations come in, where does that money go?
We're only doing either donations for food or you can cash app.
Cash App
The-
who?
You would be cash apping K Murray.
K Murray.
Yeah.
And who's that person?
Yeah. K Murray is another activist. She does different events, like she does a big event for Christmas for kids and different things.
Oh,
Yeah, but what they got to do with the homeless?
so did she teamed up with the city to do this or
No,
shelters?
we're the coalition
Oh,
that's going to do it.
it's a group of people
Yes.
that's doing this for the homeless.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. This
Well,
is
that
does
It's not
have
the
to do
it's
with
not the city. It's a
he was
group,
giving out.
yes.
an organization.
Yes, I'm like because I'm like when she was talking about people bringing outside food, they've been doing that. They've been doing that for like 2 weeks down there,
Well, you know
maybe
what?
more.
The problem is everything should be on Facebook. If you're doing something that's illegal, it should not be on Facebook
Yeah,
or any social media. It should be kept. What they're doing. So apparently, it's okay that we bend the rules. That's what it said. That's what it's saying. We're bending the rules here.
yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know. But Thurman, when you leave there, you're gonna be in quarantine.
Well, I do have these people around me that keep me well protected.
They're not protected from the COVID.
Well, and then I don't think I have another event or anything for 2 weeks anyway, so I can always go into quarantine.
Yeah, you're going to have to take care of yourself.
Yep.
At least 7 days.
Well, yeah, then I already have set up where I'm going to go get screened the following day. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm over on Brookside. Is it a party over here that nobody know about?
It's warm outside, 50 degrees, and everybody wants to be out in the streets.
Jesus, it's going to snow tomorrow.
First of the month, and everybody wants to be in the streets.
Make sure you also talk about the great poetry event that's coming up for Black History Month.
Yeah, Saturday, February 27th, from 5 a.m. from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Black Archives on the 18th off 18th of Vine.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's a free community event. We're asking people to mask up, come out. Huh?
Is it a food drive tomorrow?
I already announced that earlier that we'll be at Mount Sinai from 1 to 3 tomorrow, 36 of Brooklyn.
Okay. Well, peace and chicken wings. I'm out of here.
Thank you, Miss C, for calling in.
Yes. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna go through all this. And I know, like I said, I'm telling you, there's other events going on. Some of them will not be advertised. You also even have the different restaurants around here that will be doing little Super Bowl parties or different little events. I know Saray down on 18th of Vine are doing one. So yeah, so you gotta have different little things that are going on just to celebrate, just to get together for this Sunday. Also, what some other things that are going on in the city. I had a message from someone asking me, "What about why don't about?" The question was, let me go back into my page. The question was, I was asking people to send me some questions about what topics they want for the show tonight. And somebody asked me why Black people can't come together and support each other more like we do other business. Healthy relationships, healing, and moving on in peace. Racial injustice and everything in today's world. Why Black people can't come together and support each other? Because you have certain people that wants their name put on events. They want to be over. They want to be able to run it. That's where the egos kick in. I don't want to just be. I don't want this person to basically outdo me. That's why we can't never really team up with each other. You don't really see two different organizations teaming up with each other because different egos kick in and everything. Either somebody don't like that other organization or who's in that organization, or that organization's getting more money than me or getting more funding than me. So you rarely see two organizations, well-known organizations, team up with each other. I'm like, even if they are both are having the same basically event and are targeting the same people, they will not team up together. I'm like, they will let the organization go and do their event, and then they will come back and basically try to overdo the other organization. So that's why Black people can't come together. Like you won't see too many Black people in a house or whatever. But that's why. But we're in Black History Month. It's time for some of us to go out and support these Black businesses. We're in that month where you have some Black businesses that are doing specials during lunchtime or whatever. Go out and support them Black businesses. We're in COVID, and some Black businesses have been hit hard by the regulations and everything. So go out there and support them and everything. I know last month you had Restaurant Week. You had some black restaurants open up for Restaurant Week. It's time for us to support each other. Not always trying to chop the other person down. Especially at the time that we're going through, we need each other. You have, if three different organizations get together and basically be like this time you got grants coming out. A lot of these organizations don't have grant writers. If we could all two groups team up, we could get max funding for some of the stuff that we're looking for. But, you won't do that because different organizations be like, this person treated me wrong or whatever in the past and everything. So, it's just crazy, I want to thank also, Councilman Brennan Ellerton is having this No More Excuses coalition meetings every first and fourth Monday of the month at the Mohart Multi-Purpose Center on 32nd and Wayne. For last Monday, he was talking about block rents, neighborhood block rents that are coming up. I think the deadline is February the 22nd. And he has different heads of different organizations. Different heads of different departments in the city coming up there to talk to you. He had neighborhood services in there this week. The fourth Monday is going to be a different organization. Different head. So get in touch with his office and find. Let him know which organization, which head you want to talk to. Who do you need to see? You need to see Public Works that deals with trash. You need to see the head of Parks and Rec. Which head do you need to see? Because you need to see the head of that deals with abandoned housing or because I went around today And some of these neighborhoods are horrible. You got trash everywhere. Some of these neighborhoods, especially over in the area where I stay at in the Vineyard, you got tires galore. Some of these empty lots, I'm like 5, 6, 7 tires. Like people just went on a dumping load.
Tragic. You live over in the Vineyard?
Yes.
Yeah. I was raised over there.
So yes.
Yeah, I was raised in the Vineyard.
So yes,
Yeah,
I'm like
on the other side of you, where you speak Van Brunt.
and you know,
By the dairy.
I've also seen that that we're having issues with that another thing that I helped out a couple of years ago that I seen that we're having another problem with we have the property tax problem. I seen that in Lee Summit. A person told me that they got a property tax bill this year for a 2-bedroom house. There was total they bill for a 2-bedroom house went up $1,000. And I'm like, for just a 2-bedroom house in Lee Summit, your bill is over $1,000. You know what is going on with these bills? That we found out that last time we looked at some of these bills people was getting from the property tax, some of them could easily go down and contest their bills because the bills were not right. I'm like, some of them need some of them, but I know it's $5,000 just to bring an adjuster out to your house and look at your property tax, look at your property and everything. But yeah, it's $5,000. Yeah, that's why a lot of them do not. A lot of them will not have. Yeah, to get an appraiser to come out to your house and appraise your property is $5,000, $5,000 or more, and we know a lot of people do not have $5,000 on hand to have their property appraised, so they will go and represent themselves in court, deal with the BOE, which is the Board of Equalization, and sit there, and you may get some help from them, you may not. You may even have to go eat that bill. And I know some of them just basically, like I know when we were doing it, when we did the workshops and everything, some of them just basically told Jackson County, I will sign my property over to you. I will sign my property over to you. Because they just fed up. They will sign the deed over to you. I'm like, and you do not want to go sign your deed over, because the way property is around here, that's the last thing you want to do, because you have developers running around here who are on money grabbing property. I know several people. I know people in this room right now who are probably getting these cards in the mail right now talking about, I will buy your house and everything. Different companies talking about, I will buy your house and everything. Little junk mail and everything. Some of these properties are basically, people want this land that you want. I'm like, signing it over is not going to help you, because they will lowball you. They will give you a low deal, lower than what your property is actually worth. Yes, and I'm like, you know, if I was somebody who had money, whatever, we get all these stimulus checks or whatever, I would start getting them together and start buying property. I'm like, you can see you can see when the property goes on the county steps, what in March, May, or whatever. Uh, you can see all the people that be down there at the county courthouse on the steps. A lot of them are is not black down there buying property, and a lot of them are not even Kansas City residents that are buying that property. Because you got to remember, you can also buy the property on the online when the sale starts. Yeah, and that's another problem because you have LLCs and everybody else buying property, and when it comes down to trying to find these property owners who own these abandoned properties, you can't find them. Nobody. You got a house. You got the yard is 20 foot high, and the property owner is nowhere to be found. I'm like, basically, and all the county can tell you, the city can tell you is somebody owns that property, but they can't give you any other information than that. They can't even get in touch with the property owner. They tell you they'll bring you into property. They'll bring you down there to housing court and try to put you in jail or whatever. But they cannot find these slumlords. Yeah, because I'm like, especially when you have landlords who, and I know some right now, you have some good landlords. Then you have some slumlords who just will not do things. I'm like, I have been into some, people have called me to come into some different apartments complexes just to look at their property. I've been from like Stonegate down the hilltop, looking at different properties that people are saying, I need help. And some of these places, I'm like, are past code. I'm like, I know one property down at Stonegate. Basically where the roof was leaking. The roof was leaking from the apartment upstairs, and it was basically leaking on the floor. So I'm like, it's just things that are going on in here, and people need to understand. We have the city has different departments that handle different things. You have 311, call 311. You have Healthy Homes that deals with different properties. If you got an issue with your landlord or different things like that. You got KC Tenants that deals with if you got any legal stuff. You got Heartland that deals with properties and everything, landlord disputes and all that. So yes, you have different agencies that will help. So yeah, that's going about housing and everything. This crime that's going on, it's cool for right now. We only got 10 murders, but believe me, March, April, I don't believe it's going to be 10 murders around here. I believe it's going to start getting heated up. People are going to come up out of their quarantines or whatever. They're going to be wanting to be in the streets. rolling around, and that's where you'll get your problems in. Because you're going to get people that's being locked up in the house for 2, 3, 4 months, and they're going to bring that aggression to the streets. So, you know, yeah. So, you got all kind of things like, uh, uh, so yeah. So while everyone is everyone is celebrating or getting ready for the Super Bowl this Sunday, I want everyone to think about, we have had a lot of murders due to COVID. Think about the ones that are not here because of COVID, and what are they? What is what are they going through? What are the families going through that have lost loved ones due to COVID? You know, we have a lot of people in the hospitals right now fighting for their life because of COVID. You're never really right after COVID. People say they survived COVID, but you're not really right after COVID, because they say there's a lingering effect after COVID, after you have it. Your lungs are never right. A report came out this morning that your lungs not really right. Your brain may not even be right after COVID. Because especially you have so many people that have been on ventilators more than a month. So you have had a machine breathing for you for over a month. Some of them have even gotten underlying affections due to them being on the ventilator. You have staph and different other bacteria kicked in. And and I was thinking today, people were up here, they're talking about, we're gonna test you before you come into this place or whatever. They're bringing these little hand thermometers and whatever. I guess they forgot that you have some people that are asymptomatic. When you're asymptomatic, you will not run a fever. So I can have the COVID virus right now, and you giving me this thermometer to read my head temperature, thinking I'm going to show up on a fever, will not do anything. Because if I'm asymptomatic, I'm going to get everyone sick because I will pass that little thermometer check, but I will get everyone sick because I am asymptomatic. Because a lot of times you have these kids 16 and up, they are asymptomatic. They will not show up with no symptoms. And they are the main transferable people that will transfer the virus to you. Because they are asymptomatic. They don't know they have the virus, but they are carriers. They're carriers for the virus. So, for all these people that are running around here with these head thermometers talking about, you can't get into my business without a test or whatever, you got to remember, these people will not test positive. These people basically will, yes. Yes, because the CDC even put out last week to wear 2 masks, to double up on the mask. I'm like, but long as you got the asymptomatic ones out here who are carriers for the virus, that little head thermometer will not work with no asymptomatic person because they are not showing no symptoms. So they will not run temperatures. They won't call for anything else. But you basically give them a COVID test, they will fail because they have the virus in them, but they are asymptomatic. That means they carriers of the virus. And people need to understand. People need to understand this virus is not a joke. This virus is not a joke. I'm like, I know at the beginning people were doing, guys know what out here, going to God know anything and everything, and they were passing this virus on to everybody. And even the Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, if the Chiefs win, people may want to be out in groups and everything. I know last week, after the Chiefs won the AFC championship, people was out at Power Light District. I seen videos from Facebook, people out doing donuts in the middle street on what is that, Grand? They were doing donuts. They were blasting. Someone had their music blasting full loud like they were doing a music video. And you didn't see no mask. No mask on these people. And I'm like,
it's gonna happen again. Yeah.
So
even the homeless gonna be kicking it.
So yes, you're
they
gonna
go have a
get
Super Bowl party.
You want to get somewhere around here. It's going to be a wide spreader. You're going to get a lot of people together, and there's going to be somebody's going to get spread of this virus because these people will not stay in quarantine. I'm like, I think the time for people telling people they need to stay at home is gone because these people are not listening. They will do whatever they want to do. I'm like, you even have some business owners. They defied the COVID virus, the rules for COVID virus, and they ended up getting the COVID virus themselves. And and I even had someone ask me why up in Clay County people are not wearing masks up there in Clay County, because some counties have different rules. I'm like Jackson County, who's under the COVID, who has COVID county. Clay County does not have any rules for masks. So basically, masks are optional in Clay County. That means they can basically go anywhere without their mask on. Huh? What?
Except inside the stores. Yeah, you can't go inside the stores.
You can't wear the mask?
Now, you need a mask on.
Yeah.
If you go in the store.
Yeah, some masks, but other places, these people are wearing no mask. I'm like, you had some reports of people from North Kansas City coming down to Truman down here to get the shot. I'm like, North Kansas City's not giving out the shot. You coming down here to no man's land to get the shot?
Yeah.
You basically jump in the line. You basically jump in the line. I'm like, so yeah, my time is almost up today. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank KUAW 98.5 FM. We will be back. Miss E will be back. The Power Broker will be back at the mic next Wednesday at 5 o'clock with me. Like I said, tomorrow we got the food giveaway at Mount Sinai from 1 to 3, 36 of Brooklyn. We have the Music and More Foundation is doing the with Councilman Brandon Ellington, We the People, and everybody is doing the free poetry event at the Black Archives Saturday, February the 27th from 5 to 8. It's a free event. People are asked to wear masks. And the next No More Excuses event, the next No More Excuses meeting is the fourth Monday in February, is from noon to 1 at Mohart on 32nd, 3200 in Wayne, in the auditorium. So, everyone needs to be safe. Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, you're going to have these widespread events. You're going to have families even getting together, watching the Super Bowl together. Some of these families got 10, 20 people together in the room. Okay.